And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
In the dark of the night, the castle of the devil. Whoa. Okay, this doesn't really sound like a kid's game here. What are we talking about, Vasel? What is this? Well, what an oddly named game. Let's just put it down to its essence. This is a werewolf-style game, or mafia, the same game basically, where you are trying to figure out who is who, and there's some interplay back and forth. 4 to 8 players, 20 to 40 minutes. You're all in a castle trying to figure out, who's who. It's fun-ish. Definitely not as good as Werewolf, and definitely not as good as many of the other Werewolf clones that have come out in recent times. But hey, it's there, it's here, so let's talk about it. Maybe it's for you. This is basically a party game, in a sense. Each player, at the beginning of the game, is given a character card. And the character card doesn't really matter that much about the game. It just has two sides to show who you're supporting in case of a duel. If you notice, the swords or the shield in the top corner. Players are given a special profession card, which will give you a special ability during the course of the game. And then some object cards are shuffled, and you'll be getting one of them, which could be anything from the deck, but there's also a good chance that you're getting either a key or a goblet or a bag of secrets. Now, the biggest part of the game is each player is going to be dealt one of these cards randomly. You're either part of the Order of Open Secrets or you're the Brotherhood of True Lies. Don't even ask me. Apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger has something to do with this game. But you're trying to figure out who else is on your team as the course of the game progresses and trying to get a certain amount of objects. For example, the Brotherhood of True Lies, they are trying to get keys. I'm sorry, no, they're trying to get goblets, while the other Brotherhood is trying to get goblets. Keys. Goblets. Anyway, one of the sides is getting goblets, the other side's getting keys. Now, on your turn, what you can do on your turn is you can spy. You pick another player, you take a random object card from their hand, you look at it, you don't show it to anyone else, and you give it back. That gives you some information about them. You're also allowed to offer an object face down to someone else. They can accept it and give you a different card back, or if they refuse, you take a duel token from the pile, and that will help you out in future duels. And then there's other special abilities that players can play. You can play your special ability on your character when you get a chance and such. Then you can challenge another player to a duel. When you do so, you say, I'm challenging you to a duel. So you turn your card over to the sword side. They turn their card over to the shield side. Every other player decides which side they're going to help. They can play cards. You can use duel tokens, special abilities. There's object cards that will add to one side or the other side. If you win the duel, whoever wins, whether attacker or defender, can look at the other player's Secret Society card to see what Secret Society they're part of, or they can steal an object from that person, look at all their cards, and take one. If there's a draw, nothing happens except the attacker draws a card from the object deck. So the game ends when one person is pretty sure that they have the things they need to win. So let's say, for example, I'm on the Brotherhood of True Lives, and we're trying to get 3 goblets. And I am on the Brotherhood of True Lies, and I know I have a goblet, and Joe and Bob each have a goblet, and I'm pretty sure that they're in the Brotherhood of True Lies. I can declare victory at the beginning of my turn. I have to show all my cards, I have to show my object, and I also have to name who else is in my secret society. I don't have to name all of them, only the people holding the goblet. So I say, I have a goblet, and Joe has the other 2 goblets we need to win. If that's true, we win. Otherwise, we lose. And that's the game. I think it's just unfortunate that this game came out around the same time as The Resistance, because I'm just not a huge fan of this game in comparison. There's just too much, fiddliness going on. If I'm going to play a game with fiddliness and guessing who is what, I'll play Battlestar Galactica. In this one, there's even one card you can win as long as you hold on to this card, and it just it just seems like there's too much information. The duels aren't as exciting as they should be. It feels like a good idea that just never actually turned into a good game. So while I'm not thinking it's a terrible game, It's just that when compared with the Resistance, and I hate doing this, but they came out around the same time, and the Resistance is a much, much better party game, which does essentially the same thing without all these fiddly cards and duels, just a bunch of psychological stuff, and that is where these games shine, is on how much they rely on the psychological factor, and this one relies on the cards a little bit more than it should. Nice artwork. I'm still not sure what the Castle of the Devil has to do with anything, or True Lies, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, or whatever. Okay, it's okay, but it's been beat out by a better game.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.